Hello, hello, hello. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, so I am going to, as you know, you may have noticed if you've seen any of my previous streams, I had struggling to get one particular feature of Blazor working, and that was the authorized view tags, authorized, unauthorized view tags. They don't work. They don't work with what I'm trying to accomplish. I cannot, under any circumstance, so far. I've tried everything. I've tried Googling. I've tried YouTubing. I've followed example after example, and none of it works. I just recently figured out one annoying thing in Blazor, which I couldn't find anywhere, that just simply said, "Don't do this." But I finally figured it out because, step by stepping. And uh, what it was apparently there is a bug, a known issue. And I don't think it's even considered, intentional. I think they just haven't fixed it. What it is that there's a bug in redirect to and navigate to, which is using the redirect manager or navigation manager. What that it will not navigate as expected. Oh, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So if you go to login, if you go to my login, I'll go to my login page here. I have all this processing for my login token, and it basically goes out to my API, pulls back a token, a Druid token, and it's a bearer token. It comes in, populates a cookie, and then that's it. We got our token in. It's authenticated. We got all the authenticated proven. It's all functional, and then we navigate back to the home page. And at that time, that is the issue I'm going to work on right now. I'm going a different direction. But what happens is if you have your navigate to or your redirect to placed inside of a try catch error handler, and then you try to capture whatever errors it kicks, which, by the way, if you're on server, which is where I'm at, the server side, it will error. And you'll capture it and you'll say, whatever, log it, ignore it. You're basically going to just try to not have it do anything, right? Wrong. What'll happen is your code will not navigate. Yes, it won't show an error. It won't do anything unless you tell it to, you log it to the console or something, but you won't navigate. It'll just stay where it is, and it'll error and do nothing. And I couldn't figure out why. Turns out, do not put your navigate to or your redirect to in an error handler. Just don't do it. Just if you use redirect to, it has its own built-in thing that it does in response to the error. But it does it like at the right point. It doesn't blow up, and when you come out, it'll go ahead and redirect. It basically encapsulates the error and ignores it, sending you back where you want. It'll send you to your location. But if you stick your navigate to inside of an error handler, it will fire back up and it will just capture it and kill your navigation. It won't fire the navigation. So if you want to navigate at the end of a login function on the server side, and I say login function because as far as I know, this has something to do with authentication. It tends to be a bigger problem with authentication. So you can see here, I have my try catch, but at the end, only after I validated that my user is authenticated, do I actually do the redirect. Okay, so I send them back to the home page, and that works. But that gets us to the next problem. The next problem being, when I'm back at my home page, which is going to display this nav menu, which is, let's see if I can make this a little bit nicer. You see authorized view. Now these are supposed to be able to be triggered by the authentication state. And don't say I need to set the authentication state. I know, I've already set the authentication state. That's what I don't have it. I don't have it showing right here. I have this guy who is where all my hold on, I'm finding it. Hold on. Here we go. My service here. Okay, so in this service, I have get auth value. I have validate token. Oh no, these are just where I get the tokens. Right. Get auth value. No, this is the step in the middle. The auth. This one. Nope. Where'd it go? All right. Oh, it's the authentication state provider. No, it's this one. Okay. So here I actually am going through, and you can see I have get authentication state, which is where it'll read the authentication state and prove that it works. Here is update authentication state, which is again where it's actually setting it after everything's been proven. And this is my get authentication state, or where I can log it. It'll go through and actually read it, and it'll say this user's authenticated, this user's identity name, blah blah blah, which comes back from the login information. It comes in, all this stuff proves that we are fine. We actually get the user.identity that is authenticated to be true, and happy campers. But still, even after I set all the necessary bits, one of the bits I was one of the last bits I realized I needed was when I went to this and I had to put in this guy, cascading authentication state. It's supposed to allow the authentication state to travel from page to page so that when I go back to the home page, it can do what it's supposed to. It does not. You also define that here. You also identify here the cascading authentication state to allow you to go through. But alas, it does nothing. It has no effect whatsoever on what's happening. So when I end up back at my home page, and this guy's supposed to do his bit, it just does nothing. It still goes not authenticated. So it's assuming that we're not authenticated, even though we are in fact authenticated. We are truly authenticated. This is where I'm going to go ahead with my next step. I've decided after all this time, I've spent days and days trying to figure this out. Not constantly since my last stream or anything, but multiple streams and a few hours here and there on my own, trying to just see if I could do it without, without the distraction of talking out loud, which really has no significant effect. I believe my brain still works when I'm talking. Just sometimes I'm spewing out nonsense. In the meantime, it turns out to be nonsense. Okay, so what we're going to do, so you can see I even have state is changed when we get in here. Location changed. I don't know what this means. I think this just means, being as this is a menu, location changes anytime I go back to a different page. That's what I believe is what's triggering that. I'm going to put some breaks in here so that when we get back from our login, this is where I'll test, and I will set state, and then I'm going to actually change this code, probably eliminate it, to basically just be a conditional, much like I did on the router app I did, where we'll just have conditions that say, hey, if this, if that, that kind of thing, and we will have the same basic display. I'm going to show you what I did with the ladder app. And this is what I'm going to do because it functions the same. It's just as good. It just allows me to stop banging my head on the wall for the conditional output, for the Blazor output. So on here, where is it? I haven't looked at this in a week or two, so I gotta go back and find. I think maybe my nav bar. Nope. GSX. Okay, so, oh yeah, so we basically have this kind of conditioning where if we don't have the cookie, we have an error, but at the same time we have the druid values, hello, and this is if our druid is loaded. Same thing. We're gonna load this up. We're gonna get our value. If we have one, basically if our authentication state is good, we'll look at the user and pull that and put that in here. Basically the same way that we're doing it here in React. We're gonna get our values and load them up as long as they exist. So instead of being just the word login, which is what you'll see when you show up at the page, you'll see the name of the person, which when you click on it will then take you to the account page, which is a conditional down here that says nav menu. Somewhere. Oh, here's the href. Okay, so the href is right up here. This is just the words for it. This is the href. Conditional, we go to auth if it's login. We go to account if it's a valid login. So we're going to do the same thing here in Blazor because this doesn't work. And maybe it does under some circumstances, some versions of authentication, it probably works fine. I'd imagine it does is the thing, but the way I'm doing it, it won't. I can't just set the authentication state. It refuses to trigger. So I'll show you one time quick what it's doing currently, just so that you can see that I'm not making stuff up. Why you would accuse me of making stuff up, I don't know. But if you're in the mood to do so, I will shut that nonsense down right now. Now, the goal is, I've been at this for 12 minutes talking about it, but get this done quickly, have a nice little succinct-ish stream that says, this is it. Now, I'm not showing you how to do it. This is a way to do it, but being as I am not a Blazor expert, you will note that I am not going to ever be claiming to be teaching so much as learning. And you just get to go along for the ride with me. And maybe if you feel so inclined, you can help me get it right if I'm doing something wrong. Or perhaps you can actually learn something while I learn something. Learn a few things as we go. Okay, so I'm going to go here, get the right accounts here. Okay, so we're back to our nav menu here. This is already triggered. I don't feel like that's the right place. Let's make sure that this is only happening when... This is probably when I'm going back. Yeah. Okay, so it logged in, sent me back. So what I'm going to have to do is figure out, I may have to pull... So this is on location change. So what I'm going to do is figure out where I'm at, first of all. where are we? Because nav menu is going to always think, hey, you know, where we are, right? So let's go ahead and click here. That'll bring me here. Let's see, what does the current URL say? Oh, I'm going to have to go F10 here. Now, current URL says I'm at the login page. All right, then we click here, account login, F10, current URL, still login, which is fine. Now we come back here, F10, and current login is now, well, current URL is the home page. Apparently it's just doesn't have a value because it's just a / I suppose. There's not much to it at that point. Okay, so is it going to the next page? So on location change, it doesn't actually fire. That's interesting. I never got, in all of that, on location changed did not actually change. Navigation manager.location change. Nothing I did ever fired this on location change. An event that fires when the navigation location has changed. Huh. Interesting, because nothing I did ever fired this piece. We don't ever go in here. So I don't know what this piece of line of code is doing. I didn't put this here, but if that's supposed to fire this, that does not. Nothing fires it. So interesting. Not sure what that's supposed to do. It's some of this code. This is part of a template application for our Blazor web API application. And some of this stuff is there to serve some purpose, but as you can see, this is weird. I really don't know what this is supposed to do. Let's go back to my buddy, ChatGPT, and let's just ask him to tell me what that line is supposed to do. Because let's just ask Copilot. It's nice and convenient. I know it's not as good, but it does the job. What does this line of code do in Blazor? Yeah, just do it. The allocation method gets called. No, it does not. When the URL changes, the onLocation changed method gets called. It lets you react to URL changes in your app. What's the context where you're using this? This is getting called in my uninitialized event and does not seem to be triggering the onLocation changed event. If that is what it is supposed to do. When I change pages. It's weird, it can't actually hit enter on this. Second, check if the event is getting unsubscribed or overridden somewhere. The event might also not be triggering if the page navigation is not being handled by Blazor's navigation manager. Yeah, see, it's great. It's giving me potential solutions, but things to look into. It doesn't work. I don't know. I don't care. I'm gonna try to see if I could get this page to load on this view here. So it would be an on-location change, right? Because you'd have to come back from somewhere. You're basically navigating to this page from another page. It fires when you first come in, too. So, I mean, in reality, I probably don't even need to do that. Navigation manager, location changed. Does not fire. Why is that? I guess I can give Claude a shot. I don't know. I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be asking too many questions of these tools because they don't. I mean, I'm getting tired of being bounced around by these things, and they're not really all that answering. I don't care. Sometimes they can give you a clue, but usually they just do stuff like you just saw. Oh, it could be. I'm like, ugh. It's like, let's just go do my other thing. I'm trying to think of the best way to approach this while I'm doing this, and that's the only reason I'm doing this. Probably on initialized, but I'm thinking I just want to have like a conditional display. Maybe just a separate method that I call. Let's see here. Let's go here. I gotta be quick and get to the point here. So, why might this not be working? I do have navigation manager rejected on this page, but this line does not trigger the on location change when navigating this page. It is a initialized method. Now, I'm not using Navigate 2, and maybe that's the problem. I'm using Redirect 2. But I think Redirect 2 actually uses Navigate 2. It's just a wrapper that handles the error that's triggered. Inside a child component or component that rendered additionally, it might not be active when you expect it to be. Make sure. If your navigation is being handled in a way that bypasses normal routing events, like using custom routing logic or external JS interop, might not detect it. Double check that navigation logic you're using doesn't interfere with the default Blazor navigation. Add logging or debugging to ensure that navigation is happening as expected and that no errors occur in the event handler. See, this could be related to the inability of, to the fact that this does in fact return an error, but the error gets ignored. It's just what it is. It just does. It's a bug, and I think that could be why that doesn't work. But let's try something else. I'm going to do this and see if this still fires. It might not. It might actually error and not work because the redirect 2 is actually clearing this up. But we're going to see what happens here. Let's just see what happens if I do this. And then we're going to go back over here. Oops. Fine. Back to login. F5. See, nothing we're doing is actually triggering, which is interesting because it actually blows up before I ever do a login action. So it's not even going through the login page. I should be getting to here, but you can see nothing triggers that. I am getting back to my home page though, so it doesn't matter whether I'm using redirect 2 or navigate 2. That proves to be irrelevant. But either way, these things are not firing. So I've got to come up with another thing. On location changed. So it's like this guy, navigation manager, is not. It doesn't realize that location changed. This is interesting. I like this thing here, but unfortunately, There's no knowledge of the location. You know, it's kind of weird though. Yeah, there's no amount of anything that's triggering this. What? This never happens. Whatever this is doing. It just never seems to fire. I'm gonna go check out. Let's go try one more thing. We'll just do the classic Google maneuver. Let's try. What is it? Location changed events or method not firing on navigation manager in see, this to me is all buggy crap. So and all right, I want to see what this says. Hold on. Amazon and Apple strike deal to bring Apple TV Plus to Prime Video. Oh, okay. So we can get your Apple TV stuff through Prime Video. I think it's kind of cool that you can put it all in one place. It's still kind of annoying how you have all these different apps, but I digress. Let's go back in Blazor. See what this guy says. Event is not triggering when navigating to page outside my website. This ain't outside my website. Send your app in the address bar, you lose the state of your app. This is the reason why the location is never triggered and the ID properties stay at 0. If you add the following code, you can see the ID property is now updated when you navigate from navigate to function. .NET 8 preview. The allocation changed. Get fired using regular href links like attached Git project. The project are built in. Seems to be a bug, but yes, navigation manager seems to have a problem. Location change. It never triggered. The app Razor, main layout Razor, but I always get the same result. Location change is only triggered in the page when it was registered, and when we use navigation manager, not navigate to change the location. Added bug, remove this. Doesn't really say what the solution was. So okay. So yeah, we can't rely on that. Essentially, we're going to have to do. Let's just do a simple test. Let's just do this. If current URL equals is empty equals string dot empty, and this is probably not equals, probably got to be equals, right? And that's not right because that's not a thing here. I'm gonna go like that, I'm gonna go like that, and then we're gonna say we're gonna go, okay, so I am going to have to pull in my authenticated state here, so we're gonna have to go to login. I should be able to inject it here, right? So we're gonna have this guy. I have to pull this stuff in because, like I said, it doesn't work otherwise. So we're gonna go here. I'm going to go auth state provider. Let's see here. Actually, you know what? I may not need to. Let's go see what I did on login. I don't even think did I use that here? Is authenticated. Auth state. Auth state. This is what I want. All right, we're going to go here. Oops. Don't want to do that. We're going to go back here. And let's go into my code here. We have current URL. But we're also going to say, let's see, private string. Let's see. Login text private string let's see. Login account login underscore account URL. Login underscore logout text. Let's go private void await task. I think it's task, right? Let's just see. Can we do a private void await toggle nav menu items. Probably doing this wrong because I'm trying to do it by mental memory. And you probably can't do it await on a void. Yeah, I'm thinking I can't. I probably have to do a task here. You can do a void, but not an await. I think if I want to do this, it has to be a task. Yeah. Well, you know, this is me making that transition from. Can you do a wait void? Okay, I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna try that. And oh, can I not do it private? Wait, why did I like that? Private async. Oh, async. Why did I say await? Oh, async. And can I do async void? Huh. Am I going to freelance? Well, Well, you know, the problem with freelancing is you have to find people who want you or want you to do work for them. uh, yeah, I would freelance if somebody they wanted me to develop something for them. I would try it, but it would be small potatoes. Getting a made company to actually want to hire you as a consultant is very difficult. You know, they all want to hire through consulting companies. And I've done that. I did that for a little while. But it was, for me, it was, I already knew the client before, you know, it's like I left and then they wanted me to consult with them for a while. So they paid me direct 1099 as a consultant. But I found it very difficult to find work that way. As in, you just don't have anywhere to look. It's like, and the amount of money I would charge doesn't work well for things like Fiverr or any of those apps. You know, I mean, I need to make income. So I'm not an expert at it, so it takes me time. And I don't know that I could justify. You know, I would love to have someone say, "Hey, can you develop this website for me?" And then I'd say, "Yeah, you can pay X dollars to do it." But I don't think, just companies don't like to pay that way. I don't know. It's an idea. If I found someone who'd do it, I've done it before, but it was years ago. In current job market does not support that kind of thing, just the way the industry is set up. At least it has been my experience. Anyway, so this is going to have to be a var probably. Oh wait, no, that's already nope. Is authenticated. Oh, I don't have to say that. Oh, var. Okay. Is authenticated. So is authenticated should probably be a bool, and that's only if I need to carry it. I do not. This is probably complaining that it will be a null or it could be a null. Yeah, don't care about that. I mean, I care, but I don't care a lot. It's not going to matter. It should not be a null. So what does it say? Toggle nav menu. I'm actually thinking I should probably just do it like this. Toggle menu items. And we'll just totally encapsulate this whole thing. Your company, I don't even know what did you tell me your company was hiring? I don't remember. I don't remember you saying. I don't even know where you work. I know you live in Chicago, but I don't know. You did? I probably looked at it then. I'm guessing that if you told me to do that, I probably at least looked to see if they had a job. I probably looked and just didn't find any jobs that applied to me that they didn't have. Because pretty much every time somebody has sent me possible job options, I have gone to the website and looked. And sometimes, you know, they just don't have things that fit my skill set. That's kind of the problem. My skill set, unfortunately, is a little dated, at least until I get better at this stuff. But yeah, that's part of the problem. I'm not, I am a little, I don't know, I guess I'm just not considered modern enough. My skill set is too old. Oh, I didn't know I had that. Okay. Have you noticed that Discord has, what is the deal with Discord's names? Sometimes they show you the whole names. Sometimes they show you just letters. Like, who the heck are these letters? I don't know. It's just like, what? I don't know who G is. Are they like hiding their name? I mean, I don't understand why they just show single letter. Yeah, I don't understand that. And it's not everybody, just some of them. See, look. See, I got these names here. G, W, F, A, O, S. Who the heck are those people? I don't know what those are. Well, you never know too. If you send me a link, don't send it on text though. Send it to me in a personal message. I am either in uh, Twitch or Discord or YouTube, but you're on Twitch, so send it to me in one of those things, because my my Nightbot is not a fan of people sending links. But that's okay, because I missed. Okay, I'll take a look. Let me see here. I don't know, where did you go? I know you're on here somewhere. Did you put it on my? Oh, did you put it on my Discord? Let's see, which is probably a good place to put it. Don't see it. Not yet. Or at least I'm looking in the wrong place. Stop it. Oh, stop it. My mouse. Huh, I don't have any direct messages. Or at least nothing that shows is new. Probably muted you. What did you do? Why would I have muted you? I have muted people on Discord, but it's not that common. They have to get pretty out there for me to mute them. But no, because even if so, all right, what is your Discord name? Because it's like this guy. See, some of these. Because you use different names for different things, I've noticed. Because if it's muted, I know it won't bold up. But I don't even know who some of these people are, because it just shows me a letter. F, A, O. I don't know. Who the heck is, who are these people? Oh, these are people I've messaged in the past. That's not anybody. Wow, these are old. This ain't you. This is like before I even was streaming. Holy cow. I have some stuff that's really dated on here. Looking at my old. Oh, there it is. I see something here. Oh, there we go. I found it. It finally showed up. I don't know why it... Because one thing it'll do is when you... Even if something's muted, it still shows up. It just doesn't send you a message. And you're not muted, by the way. But it puts it at the top of the list, at least. Even those items show up. It just says, you know, this person's at the top of the list. You're like, okay, what have they sent, if they've sent anything? I do have a muted person or two who have sent stuff on there. and I don't know about it until I go look at their thing, and they're at the top of the list, and I click, and it goes, oh, okay, there's messages here. Sherwin-Williams. Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember you mentioning that you worked at Sherwin-Williams. Okay. I do remember Sherwin-Williams. And like I said, I think I looked. I'll look again. Let's see, this is reject all non-essential cookies. And then we'll go, let's see, career path, sales, students, professional, research and development. Sure, research and development. I don't know. Research and development is probably like making their paints, huh? Yeah, that's not the right way. How about if I just go search jobs? Let's just go search jobs. All right, now we'll go here, and we'll just say something simple. Base stuff, man, developer. Let's see. Engineer, team lead, research and development. Nope. All right. Let's just go. Possibilities at a glance, our recent awards, more about careers. Search jobs. Nice top link here. I just saw that right away. And then we will say developer. Senior full stack developer. All right. Full stack developer using what? What, might I ask? Let's go see what this thing says. Cleveland, Ohio. Now, this has to be a fully remote job, by the way, because I don't live in Cleveland. Let's see. Locations. Is remote a location? Let's just say remote. They may not hire remote. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's try... Well, it didn't cry when I did that, but let's see. 10-10-24, job family, IT. All right, let's go see what this is. Senior full stack developer. They want people to have C++. I do not. Python. I have tiny little bit. Ruby. Nope, don't have that. Java. Some. Git, I do know. Jenkins, I have not used. 5+ years experience in software development. I got that. Preferred, let's see, DevOps and agile engineering practices. Yeah, I know that stuff. Microservices, done a little bit. RDBMS, a little bit. NoSQL, very little. Azure Power Platform. I have not used Azure's Power Platform. I know of it. Haven't used it. Software testing, development. I mean, it's all stuff I do, just not with those languages. Let's go look at this other guy. Let's see what these people want. All right, let's see. C++, Python, Ruby. Not really, guys. That's not my thing. Let's see. What do we got? 10. These are like the same jobs, though. Well, no, different job IDs. So maybe they want something different. Nope, it's the same, just different. So full stack developer, we'll look at this one too. What role will you do? All right, this one's different. Let's see what we got. RESTful services, some. That's what I'm working on, the stuff I'm learning on. Docker and Kubernetes, I've done a little bit of that because I've been practicing with it. RDBMS, yeah, I've done a lot of relational database stuff. But Java, C++, Python, don't have that. I mean, not in the extent that anybody wants. Git, yeah. Jenkins, no. Oracle? Really? Somebody uses Oracle? That must be their RDBMS. I didn't know anybody was still using Oracle. Somebody must be, right? Because, is it Larry Alice or something that runs Oracle? still doing well. So it's out there. People are using it somewhere. I guess I never look for it. Version control tools. Yeah. So a lot of this, the little extra skills I have, but yeah, I don't have any of this stuff. So their languages of preference are this. And my Java is mostly JavaScript, as in website development. I don't do a lot of Java or Python or Ruby. But those are the developer jobs they have at this position, or at your company right now. And they're all pretty much the same. There's 4 of them. Sales. I guess I should do. I get into sales. Help people buy stuff they don't want. Yeah, they're there. They want paint. They want help with their paint. So why not? IT analyst developer. Strategy and planning. And it doesn't, I don't know, I didn't even notice if those are even remote positions, because if they're not remote positions, it's like, it doesn't, well, hey, they're looking for a lot of salespeople. Does this even say it was remote? Required. And knowledge required, preferred skills. Full-time, regular relocation package. So they will help you relocate, but yeah, it's not a does not look like it's a remote job. So it's something to keep an eye out for if they ever decide to have remote jobs. But I do appreciate your passing it my direction. I'm always looking for that stuff. They don't have competition. Maybe not on a Cleveland base, just Bear. I think there's others, but Bear is probably the other big one. And there's other brands. There's just probably not as big as they are. I've bought both at my local hardware store. I think I've tried both Bear and Sherwin-Williams paints. Oh, you make some of the other brands. Oh, that makes sense. A lot of companies do that, where they have a bunch of brands. Hey, look, this is the competition. Check this one out. It's like, psych, that's us too. You thought you were getting someone else. It's a way for them to try different formulas, right? Companies can try, hey, let's tweak this formula, and we can call it this. That makes sense. They do try to stop that. You know what they refuse to fix, though? They refuse to fix that, what do they call it? The exclusive licensing agreements that the NFL gives out. And it's just killing the football game industry. The computer game. The Madden 25. I was like, the best football game on PC that I ever saw, and I loved it. I had so much fun playing it. I played it for years until, my computer couldn't play it no more because it was too good and the game was too old. Was Front Page Sports Football by Dynamics. They created the best football game. I mean, you had the NFL players, you could throw them all into a pool if you wanted to, and instead of just playing with the teams that were default, you could redraft all the teams. You could say, I'm this team, and you would draft. You would pick the players from the entire pool of the NFL, and all the other teams would take their turn, and you would just basically do this gigantic 40-round draft where you would draft all the players into a new league same teams, just totally different players. And then it had things like custom plays, and you could play a coaching mode, or you could play with controller. It just had everything you could want a football game to be. But then, late 90s, 2000s, EA managed to get the exclusive NFL license and became the only company allowed to make an NFL video game. Fast forward 24 years later, and they still don't do all the stuff that Front Page Sports Football had. I mean, I'll give it to them. They've got the graphics. I think the graphics are great. People still complain a little bit about them. I mean, they don't say they're realistic enough. I think they're crazy good. But they still have not made the game great. They still don't have things like basic drafting mechanisms. They don't have the stat levels that affect the players' performance. They had I think they have 4 or 5 stats. I mean, it's nothing compared to what you get with the individual player stats of Front Page Sports Football had. And you could have career mode. I mean, they have career mode, but it's not the same. It's way watered down career mode in Madden, and there's no competition because nobody else is allowed to make an NFL football game. My thought is, why? Not why can they make that? I says, why do they care? Look, a good football game could be built and say, screw the NFL. We're just going to make this game. We're going to use real stats of real players, but we're not going to give them names. We'll give them names, but we'll just randomize their names. But this way it balances out against the stats of the players. Just build it off of actual stats. I did it. Trust me, I did it. I did it for my board game, and I used real stats for the game. And one of these days, when I'm rich and I can pay for graphics and people who are skilled at graphics, and I have one little problem I have to work out in it. It's a little slow. I mean, the game runs an hour and a half to play, probably an hour and a half to play, which isn't bad for a football game, but it's just a little fiddly, and I'm trying to fix that. So once I get that fixed, the game is great, though. I mean, I played it with people before. They like it. It's enjoyable. It's just a little long, and I'm trying to get it down so that you can do things like tournaments and stuff. Again, I'm digressing. But besides that point, you can use real stats. The stats exist. You could build the players up based on their actual performances each year. And then you just give them different names. What I was doing with my game, anagrams. I took their real names and created new names out of them. And I just created new names out of everybody's name. So the team names are all anagrams. The player names are all anagrams. Locations were even anagrams. I made everything up. And now, theoretically, you can call your team the Denver. You can use all the same city names. The NFL can't stop you from using city names because, hey, you're just creating a different sports franchise. And then you can create some random logo. You can't call them the Denver Broncos, but you can call them the Denver bucking horses. and then you'd have to use some other logo, maybe a black horse with a D on its chest instead of a D with a horse in its chest. But if you change it significantly, they really can't stop you. And then you take player names, and you can maybe even use all the players' first names and then just give them weird last names. Again, they can't say it. And as long as you don't use... Now, here's the trick. In this day, in modern age of programming, everybody wants everything to look realistic and look like characters. You can't take the faces and images of actual players and make your players look like real people, because those real people can sue you. So you would have to make up the faces. So there's that. Maybe you take images of a bunch of players over the years and you tweak them somehow. I don't know. And you don't actually assign them to any specific player name. You just create the players your own. But the important thing is that you create a great game that does everything people actually want. And then you just call it front page sports football. It doesn't have to be NFL, whatever. I mean, it worked for the NFL. It worked for Dynamics. And if it's a great game, you just call it front page sports professional football league. And then you use all the rules of the NFL. By the way, you can copy the NFL rules verbatim, and that's perfectly legal. Because here's the deal. It's already been declared by the Supreme Court, you cannot copyright game rules. A lot of companies have tried, and they've been denied. You cannot copyright game rules or patent game rules. So, I mean, yeah, somebody can kind of threaten you. This is too close to what ours is. Well, so there's no law against it. This is the problem with game designers. This is why I've been wanting to design my games while streaming, but I own no rights to them. So if I showed my football game on a stream and I can't afford to make it myself, that doesn't stop anyone from going, wow, that's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and make that game. I can afford it. My game company can afford to make that game, and I don't have to give him squat. So they go out, they do some minor tweaks, change up some little thing, and they can just say, oh no, we created this. We had this in the works for years. We're releasing it now. And I would never get any credit. I would not be able to have my game anymore. It would exist and be cool because it's a great design, because I know I created it, but I would not get anything for it. So it's very risky for anybody to try to do game design while streaming, because they have no protection. They don't own anything. So the only protection you have is to be the first one to market, because games don't have a huge, board games don't have a huge market. So, I mean, not true. They have a huge market, but they don't have a huge markup. So if you get out there first and you own this game, it becomes cost prohibitive for anyone to try to steal it from you, because you own the game and you've already been making it. It's already out there. And a lot of people will go, well, this belongs to them. Why are they making it? And a company will get seriously, this has happened too, where companies have tried to do stuff like that, but they get lambasted by the public, and it's, hurts their reputation. They end up not selling anything. It becomes a very bad look. But if the game never gets out otherwise, nobody can say anything. Well, they can say, oh, I saw a developer designing this on stream. So you never developed it, never got it out. We made it. It's like somebody might go out and try to do something, but most likely nothing. So it's kind of sad, because I would love to design and do my game designs on while I do streaming, but since I can't afford to actually make the games, I have no recourse. Okay, so anyway, like I said, I wish somebody would just make a great football game, and I would buy it. I would buy it, even if it didn't have the team names and players. My thought is, if you put a great game out there that's better than EA's Madden, people will realize it. They will see it, and they'll go, oh, this game is so great. Why doesn't blah, 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 and everybody buys it instead of Madden. Madden doesn't make that much money, and they lose their license to the NFL. Now, does that company want to turn around and license that stuff? Probably. Can they afford it? Probably not. You know how much it costs? Well, the last time I checked was about, probably 6-7 years ago, because I was thinking about licensing it for my football game. $500,000 a year, plus a percentage of your sales with a minimum value. Or maybe it was $250,000 plus sales with a minimum value. It's probably gone up though. So you're paying $250,000 a year plus an expected turnaround of sales based on what you expect to sell. So if you expect to sell 10,000 games, they would probably want, $10,000. So $1 a game. But that plus $250,000 a year. So you'd be $250,000 $250,000, $260,000. I don't know why I wanted to put extra zeros in there. A year. So think about how many games you have to sell to make that. Now, if it's 500,000 out, look, EA for the exclusive license paid, was it 1.2 or 1.5 billion dollars for 5 years of exclusivity. So basically 2020 to 2025. 5 years, 1.5 billion dollars. That's insanity. That's insanity. What is that? That's like, I mean, then people complain that EA makes a terrible football game. It's because they can't afford anything else. They probably have like 5 guys working on the game. And they're the new guys. They bring in new guys, say, hey, you go work on this football game, do what you can, just don't break it, make minor tweaks, changes. Here, you could even go use some of this old code, just upgrade the old code, and we can rotate in some features each year. Because that's what they've been known for doing. They add features that existed 5 years ago, but they don't exist now. They put it back in, so it looks like a new thing. But instead, they take out something else, and they may tweak that little thing and send it back in a couple of years. So they're adding and removing features, so the game never really improves, but very tiny amounts. It's probably because they can't afford to do anything else, because they're paying up the nose, so there's no competition. No competition. That's the problem. And it's because people don't want to create a competing product because they can't have the NFL license. I don't know why. Like I said, I would buy a really good football game without the NFL license. And you can create, you can buy and use actual stats of players. They don't know what you're assigning them to, what you're doing with them. Use them just to create the logic in your game to balance it out. That's what you would be doing. And then you turn around and you try to produce the game the way you need it. And if it performs well, yay. But I honestly think you could. I think you could spend probably 20 times what EA is spending on Madden. Thus, you can make a much better game and still spend less than they spend on the total package of license plus. Now, you might be able to steal back the license, maybe if your game is so good, but do you really want it? Do you want to pay up the nose for it? I guess if you can make enough sales, maybe, but that's sales that are, through the roof. So, trying to offset, what is it, $100 million a year? That's so crazy. I can't believe they spend that much money. Or $200 million a year. Because that's what it is. You pay $1.2 billion for the exclusivity. What is the they have to make $200 million a year on Madden, on the Madden license. Are they really making that much money? Plus whatever they spent on development each year? They put out one every year, right? And so they're hoping that money cycles. And they're giving an extra payment to the NFL when they do that. Well, maybe. I don't know. The contract could just say, hey, this is the flat amount. Maybe they don't have to pay them more. But they do have sales minimums. They can extend that to 2026 if they meet certain sales limit numbers. Apparently they have. But why would you have sales numbers in there if the NFL wasn't getting something from that? So they expect a certain number of sales, which means they're expecting some kind of kickback from the sales. That's why they want you to hit those minimums. So $1.2 billion plus whatever they're giving them. And I'm sure it's substantial. And what, each Madden game was like $70? Yeah, I don't know. Crazy, man. Crazy. That's all I got to say. All right. Look, I said this was going to be quick. I'm already an hour and 10 minutes, and I haven't even spent much time on it. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so we got the, we're going to go ahead and call that, and we're going to take this thing out. This thing don't work. That was what I determined at the beginning. This navigation, and I looked online. It doesn't work. Other people say it doesn't work. You can't get this to fire right. you have to call it a certain way, or things, the right form of call has to be triggered. And apparently I'm not doing the right form of call, so whatever that is. Nobody, I tried to do it with navigation. It says it has to be done with the navigation manager, but I tried navigation manager, didn't work. All right, so I don't need this. I do want to put a break here. If current URL string dot is empty, then we're going to check the authentication state, and we're going to say, I probably don't even need this. We'll just go like this. I'm just going to go if is authenticated. Oh, don't need that. We're going to go login underscore log out text equals we are authenticated, so this is going to say log out. And then we're going to say login underscore account URL equals account. Nope, wrong thing. Account. I think it's just account. Oh, account manage. Account manage. Okay. Account / manage. Yeah, I should probably put in my squiggly brackets. I am kind of notorious for getting my forgetting my brackets. Do you ever wonder how you got from point A to point B in a conversation? It's like, I'm looking at this text of yours, femboy. Says, talking about your company trying to buy up Bear, but you know, the government blocking them. Oh, that's right, the government blocking them. That's what caused me, because of the monopoly thing. And I was like, you see what you did? You got me all off on a big old 20-minute rant / tangent by talking about monopolies. And I just incurred this because I wanted to play a football game. I've been wanting to play a football game for years. Now, I'm not big on the playing it. I like coaching it. I like creating the plays, creating the playbook, and working on the careers and picking the players and looking at their stats and trying to decide how I want to draft my team. But I went to go look at reviews on Madden 25, and it's still 25 years, and it's still missing almost everything I want to do in a football game. I'm like, it's so sad. So when I win the lotto, I'm gonna find a company who already does sports games of some kind. I'm gonna find some. I can't open a company. I can't open a company to do it, but I might fund. When I win the lotto, it had to be the big lotto, the mega, the power. But if I get that, I'm going to help fund a company to make the ultimate football game the way it's supposed to be made. It probably costs, $100 million to make, because it's expensive to make video games. But I would do it just to have a game out there that is the game everybody wants, and not the game that Madden is. I think it's possible. But I would probably I don't know how to run a software company. I could not see running a company. I would have to either buy a company, which would be too expensive, because a good software company is probably $1 billion or $100 million anyway. And you'd have to have the right people. I could probably manage getting people in and doing that. But I'd rather just find a company who's already got track record of making quality sports games, like maybe soccer games or baseball games or something else that doesn't have an exclusive license, because I would not want to work with EA, because EA's crap. They don't make good games. They just don't do it. It'd be cool to get in with them and try to say, hey, what would it take for you guys to make this game the way we want it, the way it's wanted out there, and get in there and fund doing it right. Because I think it's money. I really do think it's money, the reason they don't do it. But then it's like you end up with that competition problem, right? And it's what it is. It's the dream. It's the pie in the sky. I want it. But alas, it is not to be. Yet. I haven't won the Powerball yet. Another one of those things, man. Another one of those things. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go hire a bunch of really good developers who've been out of work for 6-8 months. Say, guys, I got the job for you. And everybody who works, who knows what I know, yeah, they're not getting a job. Because I have no idea how to develop games. I am not a game designer. So I would not be hiring me. I would learn a lot from the guys that are doing the work, but I would not be hiring me. It's like, which is sad. I can't even get a job for me. Jeez. That's pretty bad. I wouldn't even hire me for that job. Anyway. All right, so we got the logout. It's not authenticated. We're going to go check out. We're going to do an else. Because ultimately we still need to do this. And then we're going to just do the same thing. Yeah. Put this guy in here. And then we'll just say, we're going to say login, which is what it says now. And we're going to say register. Register. All right, so under what circumstance? Oh, you know what? Wait, what? Login, register. Oh, wait. I think I'm missing one. Because I'm changing two things. I'm changing the text and the URL. So this is logout text. Oh, okay, so this is login, logout URL. I also need I'm missing a couple things actually, I think. Because this would be the URL. Then I have to also do, wait, what am I doing wrong? Why is this underscoring on me? Oh, it's probably because I'm not using it. I'm setting it, but I'm not using it. Oh, must contain a non-null value when existing constructor. Consider declaring the field as nullable. Oh, can I just say something like equals logout text equals and then we'll go equals, actually, no, by default it should probably just say login. Then logout URL is going to be login as well. Oh, it's account login. Huh. Okay. Account login. So this is account login. Account URL, which is up here, it's account register. And we're going to call this one same thing. Which means I probably don't even need to do this part, because if we're not authenticated, then that's what that says. I don't need this. It's just if we're registered. If we're registered, we get that, which is fine. And we're only going to do that when we come in here. When we do that. Okay, so what we are missing is logout text, or account text. Private private string. Login. It's not even supposed to be login. It's probably more like register / dash underscore account URL. Register underscore account text equals. Whoops. No. Turn it and type. Register by default. And then we're going to take this guy and we're going to go Control C. We're going to go down here. Account URL, account manage. We have that. But this is supposed to be called register URL. And we need this guy. Now, I'm not sure where this is supposed to go, really. To log out? Log out. Oh, this is the text. It's supposed to be log out. I don't know where the URL for log out is going. I forgot what that does. I think it's log out. I mean, I don't know that log out is it. I have to look. I have to look that up. But, and then we're going to go here. I'm going to say register underscore account. Now this is the only thing that's dynamic here. Equals auth_state.user.identity.name or email. Is that a thing? I thought it was name. Okay, sure. I probably still have this backwards. Let's go look at this quickly. We're going to go here. User. I'll say user identity. I should probably stop letting this be a thing. The primary claims identity is authenticated. All right. So where's my auth service? Nope. Don't need that. It is login async, but where's the log out? I got to figure out how that works. User identity is authenticated. Auth_state.user. I'm pretty. Oh, here it is. User identity.name. I thought user identity had more, but I guess it only has the name. Huh. I thought email was one of the things it could have. All right, so I think. Well, let's see where we are. I mean, it probably doesn't work yet, but I still haven't even got it up here. So we're going to comment this stuff out. What I'm going to actually do is take this piece and just go Control C and you know what? I'm wondering if I could just put what I expect them to do when they're behaving, and leave it alone, and just use this piece. Okay, so at current URL, which is this, and at some point it's supposed to change to base relative path. And this is account logout. Anti-forgery token. See, I don't know that any of this is going to work. Input hidden return URL. Oh, so it is account logout. I do have that, right? Yeah. And the account logout URL input type hidden name return URL current URL. Huh. It's not just nav links. That's what I'm throwing me off. I could do nav link here for the account manager path, but ultimately I'm going to have to do a nav link that just displays the rights thing. I think I'm going to have to just do something like this. We're just going to go down here. And then we're going to say, all right, instead of account login, this is going to be, I don't know, account, let's see. The href is going to be my login, logout URL. No, the text. Account login. Yeah, it's this one. So can I just do this? If that worked for the at current URL up there, that should work for this, right? Hopefully. Although it did put the value up there as a string, so I'm not sure this will work. I'll find out, I guess. I did not put it in as a string, so href tends to want to be a string. So I don't know, maybe I need to do it that way. Should I do it as a string? Yeah. All right. Yes. Yes, what? No, this is C sharp. Is this C++++? It's yeah, it's C sharp. But there's probably similarities. Let's see, so we got the href. Now we want the login page. Now the login here is going to have to be context. What is the context? At user. I am curious. I'm going to use context. Where is context set at here? Because I don't have anything here, so it must be context just being whatever we are at, and that should be my user, which in theory means context should be correctly set if my set is correct. So I am going to say, I am actually going to grab context.user. I'm going to go here and I want to see, what if I just say context? I am curious what this is going to do. Oh, it's not even there. What the heck? Huh. Wait, what? So at context doesn't work. Okay, so it only works, probably only works if authorized is there. So you have to be part of this. Because for some reason, context does not exist in code. What happens if I put, I don't think you can do this, right? No. Huh. You know what? Let's go look at, let's go do this. We'll go back here. I want to go see what ChatGPT says. How to, oops. Heck, where's my code? Hello? Type. Won't let me type. All right, how about now? Okay, that was weird. How to reference context in in code on a Razor page. HTTP. Oh, is it context? Inject the HTTP context accessor in the Razor. Oh, so that's what context is? Context is a HTTP context? It's weird because it's like there's no identification of this. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to give it a little bit more information. Just to make sure I'm not bouncing off the wrong direction. What does context represent in this code? And how can I access it in a code method on that page? Authorized. First, the authentication state object, which provides information allowing you to access user-specific properties like context.user. Here's how it works. At context, this is implicitly based on the content inside the authorized tag. It represents the authentication state, which contains a user property that gives access to claims-based information about the current authenticated user. So in this line, blah, 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 accessing authentication state in code. I did that, and okay, so I basically it's what I'm doing. It's this. So I don't need to actually refer to at context. I'm already doing it. That's this. This is when I said auth state here. That's already in place. So yeah, okay, so we're doing that. What this says is what this says. And we will go, we're just going to go here and go, what happens if I just go at, and then we say login underscore logout text. Logout text? Yes, logout text. I don't need that. If that ampersand is doing what I think it's doing, I should have the right value there. So let's go ahead and put a break in here. Let's just see if that one line, if this one little piece of code is actually getting anywhere. So let's go ahead and stop, because it's probably not going to let me work it that way anyway. I may even have a compile error. Let's see what it compiles. Let's see if it even compiles my logic here. Oh, we compiled. We are off to the races. Let's go see where we go. Are we going to race to the right part of the track? So we should have like an extra line on our code right now. Because specifically by, hey, it did toggle my menu item. So this should be string.empty. It is. So we're going to go in here, and then we're going to await this nonsense. Now I'm guessing, is this null? Huh, no, it says auth state is false. So what does this mean? Should be false, right? F10. So false means do nothing. Yep. And then leave it alone, and we just go on. So we do. We have my extra link here. Log in. Woohoo! It showed up exactly like I wanted it to. Now, if I click on it, it should be the same value as this one. Yep. Log in. Same thing. So far this is working perfectly. So we'll go here. This is not going to do anything because it's going to skip based on the fact that it's not that string. Yes, things are working. Then we go here, and then we go, oops, go here. Log in. Now, what do we have? We still have the same nonsense. It's not going to do anything because we're not there. But now, we should be in here. We are. We've logged in. We're going to go stepping through. Now we should go in here. This should say authenticated. Oh, it says false. Wait a minute. Okay, dokie. All right, so something weird's going on. Because look, if I go, because we wouldn't even be here if not for the success of this saying it is authenticated. So why is my authentication state not being transferred to my new location? See, I got is authenticated here. And that happens here when it says is authenticated right there. See, is authenticated. Interesting. So it's going to not work. It's not doing anything. We can go back. We can go F5 again. Nope. All right, so we're here. Is authenticated. False. F10. True. We have a valid is authenticated state. And then so it got it is authenticated, and that's how we redirect. But when we come back through, it's not transferring with me. That's a problem. Because when I go all the way through, we're back over here. And my auth state has authenticated false. You're dumb. Dummy. Dummy. That's not what I wanted you to say. You're saying not what I told you to say. You were authenticated all of a half a second ago. What the heck? Literally, you were authenticated not less than a half a second ago. Not more than a half a second ago. Okay, so what has gone wrong? Okay. All right, so let's go back over here, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I don't think ChatGPT is going to know the answer. Okay, so, all right. When I navigate away to a new page, and away from my login page, login.razor page, to a new page, my auth state seems to be lost, as it was true prior to navigating to the new page, but is now false again upon arrival. There could be a few common reasons. Issues with any state provider. It's not correctly maintaining the state. Yeah, that's probably it. It may be resetting. Establish user authentication state. Ensure persistent authentication. Make sure that you're persisting the authentication state properly. E.g., storing the token in a cookie or local storage and revalidating it on each page load. For example, if you use drip-based authentication, ensure the token is stored and accessible on page reloads. Oh, I have to go get it from the cookie again. So it's not just holding the state. I have to literally go read the authentication state again each time I go get the cookie. So basically doing some of what my login is doing. So I think my login page does just that. I mean, it's doing the same thing. So now I don't have to, let's see, let's close this here. I don't have to go, I'm not appending the cookie. Get auth value, username, claims console, login information. After a successful login, update the authentication state. So our user equals claims principal. Auth state provider is custom auth state. So I have to go, I probably have my cookie. In fact, I know I do. I think I've looked. It's actually there. If I go here and go, oh, probably because I'm in a break mode. Let me do that. Okay. Trust me, it's there. It's there. I can't go check my inspection there because I'm in a break mode. I have to get out of break mode first. But I'm trying to see what I want to do here. I may have to, my auth state provider. I also have my Druid service. Clean token. This is going to go get it. Get auth value. I could just read my get auth value, which will go and read. Oh, but I got to get the token. Which means I got to provide a token, which means I got to get the token. Task. Validate token async. Alright, what am I doing? How am I going to do this here? So this is token. Await Druid service, get value token. That's the appending of the token. I don't need to append the token, but it is set here. So I need to go get the token somehow. I have to reread it from my cookie, which is fine. But I need to do it without passing a token. I need to just go get it. So I need to first check that the token exists. If it's there, token validation results. So I need to get the token and then pass it into, I need to get the token, pass it back into one of these guys and get the value back. And I got to reset the auth state. Ugh, what a pain. So I basically have to do all of this again. Except without the append. I just need to read it. So I need to first get the token. Trying to think of the best way to do this because I don't want to have that be something that follows me around. I think that I want to do this in a different locale. So my login may just have to do all this stuff separate. it's like, because I have to go to these different pages and get this information. It'd be better if I just had it be a method call to like maybe the auth state provider. I just provide the auth state provider and say, hey, go do this. um, so I could just do like a method that says check auth or something. Or I can do that in the Druid service. The Druid service would probably be fine. So I got my get auth value, get claim value, decode base, clean token, unauthorized response token. And then we have get auth value. But all these require a token, so I'm going to have a method in here that can also get the token. And yeah. All right, what would it be? This is where middleware is better. I was trying to use middleware before, but I was having issues with middleware. But middleware is a good place to do it because then you just write the code once, and then every page that needs to use it just goes and executes middleware. Middleware will do the get the token, do the stuff, blah blah blah, and I'm trying to think. All right. Obviously, this isn't going to go as quick as I'd hoped. Properly storing token, replacing on each page. For example, if you use your token, you custom auth state provider. If you're using custom auth state provider, ensure that correct retrieves validates the authentication state upon navigation. Typically, this includes checking the presence of a valid token of the cookie. So I need to actually have this go when I have my task authentication state, get authentication state. I don't think I'm currently having this actually get the cookie. I do have a get authentication state, but what it's doing is it just does it based on whatever's calling it, which means the state is valid. But if you leave and come back and have to re-authenticate, it's going to have to regenerate the token. And I think I need to make that happen here. I don't even need to do an override because that's not even doing that. Get authentication state. Here's an example of checking for the token in a custom provider. Ensure that the custom auth state provider calls the method to retrieve the user's state consistently across pages. Return new authentication state. New claims principal, new claims identity. Get claims token, identity, claims token, shoot auth type, claims identity. Var user equals new claims principal identity. Return new authentication state user. Get authentication state async. I'm trying to determine if this is going to work. I mean, will it break my code simply to take this piece of code that they're doing and do it slightly different? Return the current authentication state. And the only thing calling get authentication state is my login. Get authentication state. But what I need to do, I feel like I could do almost, I can probably get rid of a lot of this if I just do this. Because I'll be passing the get it from the token bit to the authentication state fetch. And I think that might be better. Take it out of my other stuff's hands. Override. All right, I'm going to comment this one out. New authentication state user. Of course, that's using my user. Where is the user? Oh, here it is, claims principal. New claims principal identity. New claims principal. Okay, so that's already identified here. Okay, so I can do this, and I already have this identified. Authentication state. I just got to figure out how it's going to translate. I got to make sure I translate this correctly over return new authentication state user. Return new authentication state, new claims principal, new claims identity. Get authentication state async. So that could be why it's not working, because it's not holding the state. If I could actually get it to correctly hold the state when I go to the new page, that would probably make a difference. It's trying to regenerate it for whatever reason. It'll literally regenerate. If the Blazor application is doing a full page reload, for example, if you're debugging the authentication state. If your JIT token is expiring, debugging the authentication state. To further debug, you can print the authentication state in your component to see if it's lost. Summary. Ensure authentication state provider is registered as a singleton. It should be. Add singleton. Huh. Maybe it's not. I have to add, huh. How would I register authentication state provider as a singleton? I think I need to do it basically like that. Builder.services.add singleton. Add it, but I'm trying to see if I need to add any parameters to it. All right, builder.services.add singleton. And I didn't do it as a singleton, right? Program.cs. Blah blah blah. Add singleton. Did I not do add singleton? I have it add scoped. Add scoped. My program .cs has this line instead of add singleton. I want to see what it says. But add singleton is supposed to make it, I believe, hold itself throughout, so you only use one. Why would it have me do it that way? All right, let's try this. Add single. Because that could be a huge, huge, huge problem. Just saying, that could be a huge problem. Because yeah, add singleton. I remember reading, because this is one of the one of the things I'm picking up as I go. Add singleton is a, you create it once and it holds it throughout the life of the application, and that's why it's losing state, because it's creating a new one every time I change pages, which is interesting. It'd be, wait, what am I doing? Oh, there's something going on here. F5. Oops, edit code. What did I do? Hit stop. Thought I hit stop before, but stop it again. You know, if it's all about the add singleton and all of a sudden it holds state and my other page things work. God. No, I don't know. I don't want to get all frustrated at the fact that it's taken me weeks to figure this out, and here I am trying to figure out another way to do it, and I'm bumping into the actual cause of my problems while I'm doing this. We'll see. I don't believe that's the problem, because that would suck. I mean, it would be happy camper. I'd be happy camper, but it would suck because I went through all this pain to figure this out. But we're losing state either way, so. Where are we now? Current URL. Okay. I still think we lost state, but let's see. Let's see if we didn't lose state. No, see, we still lost state. It still lost it. Adding singleton didn't do anything. In spite of all of my... it made sense. I was going with it. It made logic. It was good logic, but it didn't do anything. So... I mean, really, they're identical, right? Yeah, the line is exactly the same, except I have singleton instead of scope. Yeah, sadly, that's not true. It says it should remain consistent. Sadly, I am still losing state even after changing to add singleton. Check how the token is persisted. Not expired between requests. Check for issues related to cookie scopes or same sites. If using local storage or session storage, I'm using a cookie. Retrieve token correctly. If you're, make sure that you get properly fetching and validating a token from storage. I'm not using storage. Get authentication state changed. Check for full page reloads. Update authentication state. Huh. Check for token expiry. Add logging to debug issue. Confirm token retrieval on page load. Okay, so we're going back to, I guess, this guy, where I'm gonna try to get the cookie. Get your authentication. You may want to ensure that the authentication state. If you're using a cookie to store a token, and the token is revalidated and reapplied to the authentication state provider when navigating to a new page, you may want to ensure the get authentication state async method checks for existing token of the cookie and rebuilds the claims principal if needed. All right, so we're going to try this. Which means what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop this code here. And then we're going to comment. We're actually going to take this whole thing. And we're going to comment this code out just in case. I don't want to break. I don't want to have things breaking on me completely. We'll do this instead. Now, oops. What the heck? All I did was try to resize you. What the heck nonsense are you doing to me here? Let's go ahead and close that for a moment. Okay, so let's see. What is this parse claims nonsense? Parse claims from Druid. This was supposed to be like an hour-long effort. Now, granted, I got off on a tangent and was talking a lot about other stuff, but still, the actual work is still taking longer than it should. I don't know what this parse claims from Druid thing is. Does not exist in the current context. Yeah, I know. It doesn't even exist in the context of whatever this thing is. I think they're just saying parse it. they're really just saying do it. They're not giving me the code to do it. They're just saying do it. I gotta love code that says that, makes up a method. Now, do I have a notify authentication state changed? I think I might. Yes, there it is. Notify authentication state changed, and it is right here. So yes, we have that very same item doing exactly that. So that's not a thing. But now I have my Druid service here. What is my Druid service doing? My Druid service, decode base, clean token, get auth value. I can get values from it. I'm not sure what I need. I guess I need to get the claims principal. And does my login have it? Claims identity. New claim. Claims identity. User email. So we're creating a new claims identity. But at no point do we actually probably have to do something like this, huh? Because if it's parsing it out, it's creating a new one. So if that's what this is doing, claims, and I'm creating a claims, which claims is supposed to be what? Claims identity with the claims in it and the auth type, which is something else. It's not Druid auth type. I think I may actually have it in here. Bear. That's the auth type. That's the claims. For claims identity is a new claims identity. And then these are the claims that are in it. So it's a claims identity is what that is. Now, it's not calling it that. Identity is the next thing, which is my claims, and then the auth type. Okay, so yeah, there's identity equals new claims identity, which is just that. And I got to pull the claims, which is the item underneath. Or I can just go get the claims identity from my token. And I should probably do that. If I'm going to do that, I should probably just say user email, admin. Oh, and I got user email from that. I don't have a token yet, but I do have a token. I'm just pinning it down to where I can narrow this and I can pull out stuff and just do it somewhere else. That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it down to where I could encapsulate these steps, like creating this claim, getting the claims, creating the user, just do it inside of some other object and just return those when items request it. So that I do something like get auth value, which I do somewhere. And I just do it. I get the auth value I need. You know, I don't need to do this all here. I could actually just say, you know, my Druid service return user identity or claims identity or whatever it is, that it becomes the norm, claims identity and user. And I can return those objects to whatever's asking for it. And I don't need to actually, see, like here, I got new claims principal, claims identity. Well, this is my claims identity. I'm creating a new claims principal, which is actually the user. And I could just say, well, I could just go in there and say, you know, Druid service.user. And then it would say .identity is authenticated. Because it's going to return the user. I don't need to worry about this. If I need the claims for anything, I'll just say get the claims. But I'll just always have it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking I want to do. I want to create these objects to be objects held by my Druid service. And then every time I need them, I just go read them from here. That's going to be a lot cleaner. I don't see any reason why I can't do that. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Let's go like this. I'm going to say private. Let's see. Well, let's see. Identity, which is the user, is going to be a claims principal. I'm going to say read only. I'm going to say claims principal. And we're going to call it underscore user. Right? Right. Then we're going to say we also need to have claims identity. We'll just say private read only. We're going to say claims identity as identity, sure. And then what else do I need? Do I want to have it for claims? Does my authentication thing use? No, it does not. So I would have to I'd have to inject it in here or pass it in. Get authentication state async. So this has a claims principal user. But I'm wondering if I need all this. Because if I use my other one, and then I set user to be a property, it's funny, that actually has Druid service. .get token from cookie async. Do I have that in mind? Get token from cookie async. I feel like I can go much further than that though. All I need to do is this. That's the only line I need. Authentication state user. If I do all this stuff in advance and pass back the user, because all I'm doing is building the user, right? Get the claims, get the identity, get the user, and then return it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting the user. So if in theory I can do all of this as part of my building it up by reading the cookie, and my Druid service takes care of reading the cookie, that's what this thing's supposed to do, I could actually not go through all this pain and not even bother with all this stuff. I could just say, hey, look, man, my Druid service taking care of all that. It's checked. Here's your user. I should say get the user. And my user, I could have a get method for my user value up here. Token validation result. And I should probably get claim value, decode base URL, clean token, unauthorized response. So up here, I'm going to have to do something like public, what is it, identity? Claims identity? claims identity user get set. Do I even want it to be a, oh, I have to be able to set it because I need to pass it in. No, wait. I got to get my order correct because, wait a minute, can I pass it in that way? No, I don't think I can. I need to have my get be a little smarter than that. I actually just need, there's no set. It's just going to have a get. And then we're going to have, all right, why is this, I've done this before so many times in the past. This is also good because it's been a while and I need to refresh my brain. Create a dynamic get method. All right, there we go. Private static, blah, blah, blah. HTTP get products. Dynamic, here we go. Var filter products. Oh, here you have parameters on the get. Public action. So what do they have? Products. Really? Have I called that many? I haven't used it that much anyway. Get all products. Get API products. Filter by name. Get API products. Name equals laptop. Oh, they're doing it with an API, but that I get it. That's how I want to do it. I'm not doing it that way, but I guess I don't have to do a get. It's just a method. I'll just say user. It's really all it is. Simply a public method, and the user is the method. I think. I would have thought it was something else, but it's not. So we got claims identity user, and then what this is going to do is it's actually going to instantiate my Druid service. Oh, I'm in the Druid service. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. What am I? No, I'm in the wrong place. Ah, God, I'm in the wrong place. It's supposed to be doing this here. This is where I want this. Dang it. This already got claims for soul. I got to remember the order of things. Because this does not need to do anything with the cookie. That's my thought. Just if it needs something, it just does it. If it needs something, it's going to ask for it. It's going to get it from, see, this is get authentication state. So what this is going to do is it's going to go call my other app. It's going to call the Druid service. That's what this is, Druid service. So I don't have Druid service defined here. I'm going to go here. We're going to go private Druid service. Druid service, there it is. And then we'll go like that. Okay. And then now that's going to be valid. And then I could probably even have this be equals to new Druid service. Right? Is it singleton declared? Is my Druid service declared as singleton? No. Druid service is declared. I mean, I think it can be reopened because really all it's going to do is go read the cookie. I mean, I don't need to have it remembering the cookie. Just call it and it just instantiates a new one if it needs to. So, but I am getting off task with this user thing here. I don't need that because I'm reading my thing backwards. I'm reading it backwards. I don't need that. That's wrong. But I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so we got my JIT service. Why is the problem? There is no argument given that corresponds to the required parameter HTTP client or JIT service. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Do I need to call that in? How did I do it with login? I had the JIT service here. I'm using JIT service. Did I inject it? Yeah, it's injected here. Okay, so it's just called as a standard old thing. It's not even a using. Okay, so we'll get back to it here. So we're going to have, we do have my JIT service being, where am I using it at? Am I not even using the JIT service? Where is that at? I feel like it might not even be getting called. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's getting the value, which means I might not need it here because I'm pulling this out. So I'm going to pull it out solely for the purposes of I don't need it for anything. All I'm doing is setting the claims identity here. And if I'm going to define that only at the time of necessity, because I don't need it, I'm creating this claims principal. And all that's doing is going in for the purposes of log information and being the user that I'm sending over the claims identity. But if I'm going to do that only when it's called, when I do like the auth state provider custom, say I pass the user in here, I could probably just go straight to the, oh, okay, so I would use the JIT service to get my user back. But I wouldn't need it for anything else because I would already have it defined at the point at which it's called. So I could just say user equals await JIT service dot user, or just say user, because I don't need to do anything. It could be JIT service dot user, but it's just going to go do the work required based on that token. So if I have it already, I'm thinking I can almost pull out all this stuff right here and toss it out the window. I mean, I could, if I needed log information, I could do it, but I'm just saying I can clean that up a lot by getting rid of that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do something of that nature because I've already appended it to the cookie. At that point, I could hand this off to my JIT service. You know, I've got it out there. My JIT service is going to handle all the cookie reads. It's already doing some of that stuff. It's got the validate token piece in there. It's got the get auth values, which is going to read from the cookie. So I've got all these things going on. I even get the claim value. payload, try get value. This is going to return, I don't know, get claim value dictionary, claim type. Oh, that's what this is. This is where we're reading from the payload, and we're just going to fill up my token here. So that's my result. Result is what? It's a token value. Oh, it's just reading through. It's just going to read through the one I want and send that back. So I have my result, and then I just pass that back. Interesting. But that's all because the result is the value that I'm coming from the token value, which we're switching off of. Got it. Got it. Okay, so we're switching on. I pass in what do I want, user email, blah, 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 blah. We can do a switch. We're basically using this switch to get the one I want. And then I have this to parse it out of the JSON payload. So I could just use this method in the same way. I'm going to create another method here, which is just going to be my user. So I wasn't wrong. I do want to create a user object, but I'm going to create it on the fly. I don't actually need. If something needs the user or it needs the identity, I can actually just return them as methods, because no reason not to. So we're going to go public. Do I need, are those awaitable? Are those awaited? I don't think they're awaited. Yeah, I don't think so. And these are just news. Yeah. The only await is that thing waiting for me to define this stuff, which I don't think is going to be a problem. All right, so we're going to go public task. And then we're going to return, I think the type of this is going to be a claims identity, the user, claims principal, principal, and we're going to call it user. And we're not going to do a get set because that's not what I want. What are you doing to me? Oh. Tab to accept what? What is it? What is this? No, we're going to do claims identity. Why did it have claims identity? Oh, because it is, oh. I do not know what it's doing, but I'm getting rid of this. I don't know why it wants that, but I don't think that's. So my user needs to be made up of an identity. My identity needs to be made up of claims. Okay, so I've got to create one for claims. I don't need to create one for identity, but I will need to make this. So we're going to have, we're going to go like this. What is this thing? So the user is expecting me to pass. Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Let's do this. And then we're going to go here. It's kind of weird though. String username password. It's trying to default some crap into my thing here. But what do I need for this to work? I think all I need. I feel like I'm trying to, I want to make sure I don't encapsulate something that's going to be needed on its own. So like, do I ever need the identity? Do I ever need the identity for anything? I feel like I don't ever need the identity. I only ever need the end result. I need the user object that's created from all the other stuff, the claims. But I may occasionally need the claims, because the claims are what's going to return all this stuff, right? I'm going to read the claims from my, well, no, they're reading from the payload, a JSON payload. Now, they don't read the claims. So under what scenario do I actually need any of this? If all I'm doing is parsing it out of the token, I can create a new claims. Yeah, but in order for me to pass it back and read the values out of the user, it's going to have my claims in it. But I can do all that in the user definition. I don't ever feel like there's a need to return claims as a separate thing. So it's going to go back. It's all going to be part of the user. So really, I could just do this. And actually, I'm going to return user. So if I do this, and then I go, I don't know, I'll have to parse this out. That's not going to be how that works, but claims, and then we're going to have claims var identity equals new claims identity. This is actually a bearer. And then this is going to read down, is going to have a user equals the new claims principal identity, and then we're going to return the authentication state user. But I'm not returning that because I am only returning the user. I don't have the authentication state here. That's a different thing. We're not doing that. We're just going to return the user. For this purpose only, we're just returning the user. Yeah, I know. Okay, so now I just got to identify my claims. My claims are going to be identified much like I did it here, because my claims are everything that's inside of this, which is the claims identity. You know, I could actually go like this. Let's go back over here. No, Jut service. And I can actually do this thing. And I don't need that. Then I can just do this also. And this, because that's what they want. Alright, so we got identity equals new claims identity. And then we're going to define my claims. New claim, claim types. Types.name, user email. Now user email is going to be pulled from the auth, which I haven't actually pulled everything out yet. But that's where I'm also going to go here. I'm going to pull this out as well. And I'll see, go back to my JIT service. We're going to put that here as well. And then we got, this is just local. I don't even need to call it with service. I just need to take this out. We are here. I have my get auth value is down below. Do I even need to await it, or do I need to say async? Okay, async. Now, the big thing is I got to pull the token. I got to pull the token. Now where? Validate token async. So these are all situations where I'm providing the token, And I have to actually have a thing that's going to go get the token. I don't have anywhere where I'm reading the token. Even in my login, I don't actually read the token because I create it here and I just start passing it around. So I'm going to have to actually go read the token. And I don't know, what is the step for reading the token? That's probably HTTP context accessor. I got to do that. I'm probably gonna have to do something like that. It's probably like read token or get token or something. Let's see what this does. Let's see, we'll go over to JIT service and we're gonna take it back up here to my little cookie here. We're gonna say token, var token equals this dot append delete equals get. Where's get? Get hash code, get type to string, add certificate client, add secret client. Oh, okay. All right, I don't know the answer. Well, I can't use ChatGPT, so we're gonna have to switch over to Claude. Claude's a Claude. It is okay. I don't know. Some people think it's great. I think it's kind of crappy. It's just too much of an independent thinker. That's the problem with it. All right. Once I have set a cookie with a bearer with a Druid bearer token in .NET 8 web application, how can I then retrieve the token later? With a set an HTTP only cookie with a Druid bearer token in a .NET 8 web application. I set the cookie using this line, just because all right, so I do need context accessor, blah 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 blah. Maybe it's gonna go ensure the is registered. I already know it's registered. Obviously, I used it once. Middleware approach, Blazor considerations, error handling, refresh tokens, token validations. Here's a quick example how you might use this in Blazor. Okay. Token retriever. Where's the token retriever? We have to create the token retriever, which is what he's doing somewhere above. Token retriever. All right, here we go. So in the token retriever, the configuration cookie name Druid token. Some method. Void some method. Retrieve token. If token. That's it. Just retrieve token. What is read only Druid token retriever? Druid token retriever. What is Druid token retriever? Is that a method? Is that actually a thing? Ah, no, that's just created up here. That's how you use it. This is how you do it. All right. Okay, try get value. That's what I was looking for. You know, really all it is that. I'm already doing that. That's what this thing does. Get claim value. Try get value. Payload. Oh, because it's using the payload. JSON element payload. Oh, because I already have the payload. So it's not quite the same. This is doing the same thing. The payload is the token, but again, I had the token already. I have not had to pull it from a cookie yet, because all these things are like, hey, you already have it. Let's do this thing. But really, I am passing a token into the get auth value, and that's how I'm doing it. And so you have to have the token. It all starts with the token, man. You got to get the token. So I'm just trying to get the token back. So it's going to be this thing. HTTP. So I need to create the context accessor. And this is... So basically, it all comes down to HTTP. I got to put in ASP.NET HTTP has to exist, because it does not. So we'll put that in here. Not being used currently, but we will use it. And then I guess we're going to do, see, we are in the Druid service. Public. Do I not have a... I do not have a... do not have a constructor in here. I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, well, I don't need to. I think I'm using it as a primary constructor here, or a primary identifier here, so I can just do this. Let's just do this. I don't want to type it out, man. It's too many words, too many letters. Let's do this. Do I trust my fat fingers? Which are not fat, by the way. I have very skinny fingers. But I don't trust them regardless to type that correctly. That's regardless of that fact. I do not believe I can type that without blowing it up. All right. So we'll do that. Oh, I have to say equals HTTP context accessor. All right, so we've got that defined. Now we have our HTTP context accessor. And now I can do this, which is really the whole point of what I'm trying to accomplish, is just this line. I could probably do this, I guess. Return token. Let's just let's do this. Since the token is everything, we'll put it at the top. Cookie name. I don't need the cookie name. I don't need no stinking cookie name. I'm just going to make it read it, because it, I mean, yeah, if I'm passing it in from somewhere else, but again, I want it to be encapsulated. I want all the other parts of the app to care less about anything cookie related. This Druid service is going to handle all of my cookie crunching. I don't want anything else to have to know anything about this cookie. If I can have my druthers, and I can have my druthers. So I'm going to take this out, because there's no reason why this thing can't just go figure out its own cookie name. We're going to go in here. So the cookie name is right here. Now, when I created the cookie, in fact, I'm almost tempted to even take the append out. You know, I mean, basically call the Druid service, say Druid service here. What am I doing? Token name. Where is token name? So I have token name. I can get that. And then I have cookie options, which I could probably stick in there too. There's no reason that can't be in there. So what do I actually need from this login? Really, I log in and I could pass the token in, create the login. I can do all this stuff inside the Druid service. The Druid service is going to handle everything. The login doesn't do anything except get the info, get the token because it's going to log in, and then it's going to hand it off to the Druid service. That's what I think. I don't think it has to do anything. Because because I have to pass the input in, which is coming from the login page. So I have the response. Response is a success. And then we're going to go, the token is just what we're reading from that response, and everything else becomes, who cares? Here's your token, Druid service, do what you got to do. So I'm visualizing removing a bunch of stuff from the login page because I want my Druid service to handle my Druid. It's like the Druid service is going to do all of that stuff. And everything else is just going to be dumb to the token. Here's this thing I got. I went out and got this token. Here's your token. Validate it, authenticate it, make sure it's good, and then, you know, pass me on where I have to go. Just let me know how it goes, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want nothing to do with it. Just here, take it. Go do what you gotta do. And that's my goal. I want my code to be oblivious to the inner workings of my token. So you see all this stuff my login's doing, it's going to get down to the point where it's only got like this piece and then, you know, this piece. Maybe checking to see that it's authenticated or whatever. Maybe it'll return if it's authenticated or not. And we're done. So, but I'm slowly pulling it out, and I want to have this be as handled by the Druid service as possible. And ultimately, maybe I can even, if I'm capable, if I can get my brain wrapped around it, create a middleware that just uses my Druid service. So the middleware, everything that triggers, because middleware triggers on its own. I don't have to do anything or call anything. All I have to do is say, are we authenticated or not? Druid service, the middleware will tell me if I am or not. And then I can, just do my thing. Maybe, whatever it is. So I guess got to continue to keep it in my head because until it's functioning, I can't fully have that happen. So we're going to go back to Druid service here. And now that I've got the retrieve token, my cookie name I have to identify. So I'm going to go over here to my cookie name thing here. I have my cookie being called, right? Cookie name, here we go. So there's a lot of things I may not even need on this page, which is good because I want to make my pages more dependent on components and outside classes than they do. Because the pages need to be kind of dumb, kind of. So let's just see, I need all this actually. Service, and then we're going to go retrieve token, and then we're going to take this token name, which will be the cookie name. Now I don't have the ECL configuration in here because I will have to inject it. Or get it. This guy. I'm gonna go back over to here. And I could probably just stick it in here. Oh, do I have to read only? I don't think I'm setting anything. It may not be able to be read only. I may have to call it something else, but what is this? Unknowable field. UCL configuration must contain a non-null value when existing constructor. Do I have to call it in here? Oops. And then we're going to go back here and call this underscore. Which is silly, but I have to do this. Because this is just one of those dumb things. Oops. I don't know. They do underscore. I don't have to do it that way, but everything everything's lowercase. Let's make my life easy though. We'll call this UCL underscore. At least make them all look pretty. So we'll just go UCL configuration. There you go. And then it'll be the UCL configuration that comes off of this guy. But why? Why is it not liking it? Doesn't have a problem with HTTP client. Do I have to UCL? Maybe I have to. Where is UCL configuration at? That's under data. No, I already have data. UCL web data. It's capturing a state of enclosing type and its value is also used. So, Kidoki? Nope, that doesn't work. And use property, but still use field. Capsulate field. Huh. I don't know what the difference between these two things are. They look the same. And use property, but still use field. Yeah, that's not helping me any. All right, let's leave that alone for now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a null issue, but potential null issue. I'm just calling it. I don't know why. UCL configuration is not null here. Well, why would it be? I don't know why it's complaining. I don't know, man. Don't make any sense. But, hey, we got UCL configuration here. We got get setting. We're going to do our drip bearer token. We are functioning for the moment. Code is all looking good. We've now got our token. Now we're going to go retrieve token for the purposes of this guy. It's really all I need. Oops, nope. Did I not copy? I just clicked it. Let's see. Okay. Now we've retrieved our token. Now we're going to use our token. Token should not be null, even though it's going to complain. This is going to be null. No, it's not. Okay, well, let's just go if fine. It's just how about not null? Because really, this is I only want to do this if it's not null. There. Now you can't complain about the potentiality of a null. So it's going to go ahead. My user is going to go get the token. That's going to retrieve the token using my retrieve token functionality. And then it's going to go ahead and get auth value. It's going to pass in that token that it got. And it's going to go ahead and read it out, create the user with the principal information I need, and return it back. But because user is inside of here, it's going to complain that unnecessary assignment of value to user. Wait, what? That's not a null problem? Oh, this is a null problem. The name user does not exist. Yes, I know. I got to put it inside here. But what happens if we have a null? I think what I need to do is what I need to do is declare this return user. What do I return though? I can do this. But what do I return if token's null? An error? So what do I return? What is the could I do something like user.identity? You know, I might be able to do that. What if I say .identity equals identity? And then let's do this. I'm just trying to decide what happens to my task if user returns nothing. That's my problem. That's the big question of the day. Oops. And by doing it this way, so what, I can't do that? Who says it's going to be null? Dot identity. Oh, how about add identity? And that's probably going to be this guy. Ah! All right, so we can add the identity after the fact. We'll create it as a claims principal. We'll then add the identity, and then we'll return the user after we've already created the identity. So we don't have anybody complaining about the potentialities of nulls. So that's key to my thing, except for that UCL configuration up there. I don't know why that's doing that. And it may not even let me compile because of that, but we'll see. So now I've got my user. I've got my user coming back with the token. Everything's going to be happy. Why is this? My user does not need a password and I don't need this stuff. I mean, I guess theoretically I could. Just do the whole login process behind the thing. No, I'm not doing that. We're going to let this have some fun. Well, all right, so based on that, I now have a user over there, so I really don't need any of this stuff. I don't even need, I do need to decide how I'm going to create the appendix of the cookie. Because I am going to get my response back, and then I'm going to pass the token in and let the app, or let the Druid service handle all of this stuff. And we're taking all this out. And all I need to do is pass back the token. So I'm going to have, the new code is simply going to be, we're going to control copy this. And then we're going to have a simple call to my Druid service. Druid service dot set cookie. That's what I'm going to call it, set cookie. And then we're going to pass in my token. And then we're going to go over to my Druid service and we're going to create this method. We're going to go public void set cookie. Now, honestly, this might be an issue of hey, we gotta have a token in here. Token? What is the value? What is the token type? I think it's string. String token. Right? That's what I'm passing in to all these other guys? Yeah, string token. Okay. And so I have an HTTP context accessor in here. I've already been using it. I used it up here. Oh, it's underscore. Home underscore H. Oh, H delete. All right. So HTTP context accessor is the same one I have up there. Oh, but I have to do the same basic nonsense as this one. Okay. So we're going to get our cookie name. We're going to go in here and we're going to set it up and append it. And that will be my set cookie. Set cookie is now done. I don't need to do any of this stuff anymore. I'm going to comment it out because I don't want to break it necessarily, but we want to get this out of here. I don't need to do any of this stuff anymore. I actually don't even need to do that anymore, or that, or that. Now, what I will need to do, I can comment out all this. Let's comment out all of this. And then down here, we're just going to go, we need to have a user. So I should be able to just do something like Druid service dot, oops. Come on now. Druid. There it is, Druid service dot user. But I don't think it's a lowercase. Dot use Oh wait, did I not call it user? Did I not make it public? No, it is public. This does have to be in await though, so it is user. I gotta go here. Can I do an await? Can I put an await in the middle of this? Probably not, huh? I didn't think so. Okay. Let's do this. Control X, and we're just gonna go like this. And we're gonna say user. See, what did I have it defined up here? Var user equals this. Use. All right, so something's not working. It's not finding my user method. It's not liking it. It's not liking my user. What am I doing? What does it not like? First of all, why is my Druid service? Oh, did I define my Druid service somewhere later? Because this was valid, but now this is not. Cookie token, HTTP context, login information, string user await. Oh, it's an await. Well, that's an await. I don't know why commenting that stuff out would break the above lines. Why is logger.information no longer happy? That's what I want to know. And context.access are no longer happy. Delegates a new iLogger instance. Using the generic. It's not even giving you an error. It's just squiggly marking it. I'm probably missing some, I probably broke some parentheses or something. It's just confused, like this one. Yeah, see, that guy's got a bunch of stuff going on and there's not a closing paren. And that's just if the token is null, I'm supposed to do all this stuff. But what I should probably do is make this return something so I know that we successfully created the cookie. Because that's what that's doing, right? It's going to create the cookie and everything else. Well, let's see, we append the cookie. And then we're just going to do, creating the cookie is just this piece. And then we're doing all this claims principal stuff, which I don't necessarily need to know about right now. But I do need to know that my cookie got set. So I should probably have like a Boolean result or something. Var is cookie set equals, and then we're going to do that, and we're going to say await that, and then we're going to go to my Druid service, and we're going to go to my set cookie. Where's set cookie? Right here. We're going to call it a task. We're going to say async task rule set cookie, and we're going to say all things happily happen. We're going to say var success equals false. And then we're going to go down here. We're going to say success equals true. And then we're going to go down here. And we're going to go return success. Oh, because I said var, this should actually be bool, to be honest. And then this guy should actually not be in string. There we go. Bool success equals false, success equals true, return true success. Okay, so we're going to have, now my login's going to get return result is cookie set. We'll go down here and then we are going to do something like if name auth state provider does not exist in the current context. Oh, did I cut it off too soon? I think I cut it off too much. And we're going to say if this guy is cookie set, we're going to go in and we're going to go squiggly, which we don't need that one. Okay, so now we should have parens everywhere. Everybody should be happy again. We have everybody happy. Okay, so state provider, state, state's like a local value. I don't know where. Oh, here it is. State. All right, we'll just do this because it'll make it happy. If auth state there. Oh, really? State, you can't just be nice. Not equal to null. Fine. I hate null tests. Wait, that's not the problem? It's not complaining. It's not complaining about auth state. All right. Dot user. Really? Dot identity. All right, there we go. If it's not null, then we can check to see if it's authenticated. So we are dealing with everything happily. Now, I also have if cookie set. We have to go get the user so we can pass it into this authentication state. I'm almost wondering. Yeah, we do need to know this. Okay, so we are going to have to get the user. So you know, what else is going on here? Walk? Walk. Sure, let's go for a walk. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to stop for now. I'm almost there. I'm just cleaning it up, making it clean. I think everything's going to work. Of course, I haven't. What have I done so far? I've encapsulated all of my code. I'm encapsulating a lot of the Druid service, all the token stuff, into the cookie. The cookie will, or into the Druid service. The Druid service will then be referenced within all of my other pages. But I'm probably going to be moving that to a middleware so that it happens automatically when I go to any page it requires authentication. The middleware will trigger. It'll verify everything. Hopefully my UCL, my state will now be valid. I'll be checking the auth state at every point, which I need to. And hopefully it'll be, it won't need to be persistent because it'll just get checked. I'll call it, go check, get the cookie. Cookie will go look at it'll go look at the cookie, make sure it's authenticated. All part of middleware is what it should do. And then it should run. I should have an auth state that's valid. But we'll see. That's my next step. We're getting close. This is actually better. I'm cleaning it all up. Now that I'm starting to understand what's going on and where it's going on, you can see I've been using a lot less of the chat guys, the chat RS group. And I think I'm getting closer. Until next time, take it easy.